Yeah, this is the stars PF. As you know, it is minus 31% as of today, compared to Nifty small cap, which is sitting at almost minus 19%. So we are at minus 30. So big problem. Okay, number one. What can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. We just have to wait and see what's going on in the market, number one. But yes, we are sitting at minus 30 as of today. And I saw someone nicely commenting saying he must have booked all his losses and exited. So just so that people don't get any funny ideas, this is the Zerodha. You can see nothing is booked, nothing is exited. Pure 14.6 lakhs negative is sitting here nicely, beautifully in a red bow tie Valentine's Day gift I got from Nifty 50. So nothing is exited. So don't worry about it. Nothing is gone. And I'm not dumb to exit at this point. So I'm not really stupid to exit at this point, because I know that the market will definitely turn. I know the market is going to take a recovery. And I also am going to do something very interesting in the next 2 days, which I will talk about towards the progression of this episode. Okay. And I will also talk about what is happening in the market, why I feel that we are now almost at an end. I am not saying we are at an end. I'm saying we're almost at an end and very close to an end. And I will talk about that also. So everything I will talk about in today's episode. Uh, so are you guys ready for today's episode? Yes, we're going to do a lot of learning, understanding why we're here, what has happened in the past, what has led us to this. All of those things we're going to look at. What is the next level for Nifty? What is the support for Nifty? What are some stocks that have really taken a massive beating over the last few things? Exactly. For example, Zaggle has taken a beating of almost 40%, right? Kept going down, kept going down. High P companies have taken a huge beating every single given point of time. So today's episode is going to be from all of that to understand everything and understand a little bit more about what we can do, right? So are you guys excited to learn something new today? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, wonderful. Before we start the entire episode, give me 2 minutes. I have a small sponsored integration, so being open about it. Give me 2 minutes. Let me explain. How many of you all know Vibe of Vicinity or might have come across Vibe of Vicinity or seen Vibe of Vicinity in the past? So, Vibe of Vicinity is one of my friend. He's also a creator, okay, and he has recently started this AI workshop. Right now, this is for people who really want to understand AI and learn AI, and also it is a part of Growth School. And full disclosure, I have also invested in Growth School in the past, not a very big amount, a small amount, but I am one of the investors of Growth School. So full disclosure before we do anything, right? So yes, this is a part of Growth School cohort, and this is an AI powered workshop. Now usually this AI powered workshop is a paid workshop. As you can see, it's 199 rupees, right? But I think for you guys, it is going to be a completely free workshop for the first 1,500 members. This is going to be an absolutely free workshop, right? So why do I say that AI workshop is very important? Because me personally, I also use a lot of AI in all the things that I do, whether it's finance, whether it's video editing, whether it's content creation. We use a lot of AI. Me personally use a lot of AI as well. And I believe truly, honestly, that if you are entering this world where you are learning and trying to understand more about AI, then you should definitely be ahead of the curve, or else you will definitely be behind of the curve, right? Now, if you look at this workshop, basically it's a 3-hour workshop, and it will help you deep dive and understand what is going on in the world of AI, right? You can also get different things about ChatGPT. You also start analyzing and understanding whether you're from a sales background, whether you're from a marketing background, whether you're from any given background that you want. You can basically learn from this, right? So I have attached the link. And I've pinned it in the comment section, so all of you guys can quickly go and register yourself. It is free for the first 1,500 users, where you can go and learn as much as you can. And there is a 3-hour workshop, right? And you get a 4-step magic prompt formula. You also get improve your email game completely. This is mainly for people who are trying to do cold outreach as well. So how ChatGPT will actually help you do that, right? How you can use different tools with Excel. So for example, even now, if you go to Screener and download everything and you upload that Screener into GPT, you can give it actual prompts in GPT and say that, can you pick out the best, can you pick out the best stocks from this according to the Peter Lynch formula, according to Warren Buffett formula. So all of these are there. So these are some very, very, very good knowledge that is up for grabs for anyone who wants to learn, who are serious about learning, who wants to learn. Whether you're a marketer, whether you're a sales guy, whether you're a data scientist, or you want to upgrade yourself, this is a very good platform for all of you guys to do it. So I put the link. I don't want to oversell it, so you guys can go and learn. This is only for people who want to learn. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'll put the link here and I'll put it in the description as well later on for all the people who really want to learn. Awesome. Now let us go deep into it. You should make a video on how to use AI to analyze companies. Naman, I actually do use AI a lot to analyze companies. Actually, I can show it to you in today's episode also if you want a little sneak peek of how I use AI to analyze companies. Do you want to see that? I actually do that a little bit as well. I use AI a lot when I start analyzing my companies, trying to figure out different things about companies. But first, let's understand what's going on with the stupid market. Okay, let's go here. Let me share my screen. How many of you all can see this? Can you see trading view? Yes, this is the daily chart of trading view. Can you guys all see this? Yes. Okay, wonderful. So why I'm saying that, we are almost at a low or almost done with the entire thing. So right now, I don't know how many of you all know this, but if you have been tracking the market for quite some time, you will see that 22,800 has always been one of the most, important supports in our time, right? 22,800 has been a very strong support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Almost 10 times we have either been a support or either been a resistance on this particular point. Right now, if I look at Nifty from the high, let's say I look at Nifty from the high, because I don't want to put all these indicators of what is that, of moving average, etc., because we're below all moving averages, so dal ke fayda nahi hai, right? If you see that we have currently come down 13.38% from Nifty 50 top high. Now, how many of you are feeling bad about this? Yes, we have seen a huge correction, but how many of you are feeling bad about this? Yeah, most of you guys are definitely feeling bad about this. How many of you all were investing uh, during the Russia-Ukraine war? Like when Russia-Ukraine war happened, you guys were exposed in the market. How many of you all were there in the market during the Russia-Ukraine war? Let me remove all this. Okay. How many of you all there during the Russia-Ukraine war? Let me remove this. Yes, most of you guys were there. Some people were there, some people were not there. But if you remember the Russia-Ukraine war, and if I just go back in history over here, during the Russia-Ukraine war time, when the markets obviously rallied a lot, and then we had a nice correction here, and we had another beautiful correction after exactly this was the Russia-Ukraine war time. If you see it, even during the Russia-Ukraine war, we saw a correction of 18%. You guys remember this? Even during the Russia-Ukraine war ka time pe, we saw a correction of 18% and we only saw things going down, right? This was when we had COVID. We had the massive bull run after COVID, and then it was straight away put to a halt, and then it went up. Then it again came down. So this whole period, there was no money-making opportunity at all because the market just kept going down. And then you see suddenly you will see that at that point we went down by 18%. So why are we feeling so bad today? Number one, a question to you guys, because all of you guys are actually in this, have been investing in the market for a very long time. Why are you feeling so bad right now? Because we have seen 18% correction, and right now we are not at 18%, we're only at 13%, right? But it's hurting more. Can I safely say that this is hurting more than the Russia Ukraine time? Even though at that time everything was bad. I don't know how many of you remember this, but there was bad news after bad news after bad news. But can I safely say that it's hurting more right now? Yes or no? Okay. Why is it hurting more this time? Mainly because all of us are investing in mid cap and small cap. So if you look at the mid cap index has fallen by almost 19%. That is why the pain comes. And if you look at the small cap index, it has gone down by 22%. So if your portfolio is about 22%, it is completely okay and it's completely normal because the index itself has fallen by 22%. But will the index never ever go back to 20,000? The answer is no. That index will definitely go back up to 20,000, right? But if you go back, and if we go back to the Russia-Ukraine war time, and we see the exact same momentum playing out here, right? You will see at that point the small cap index actually fell by 34%. We are currently at 20 something, right? 22%. At that time, it fell by 34%. But at that time, none of you guys were invested in the small cap index. All of you were investing in large cap and mid caps. You remember this at that point? Right now, what is happening? You have moved away from large caps because large caps is not attractive, and we have all shifted our portfolios towards small caps because we realized that small caps are making a lot of money, and because of that we have seen this massive correction, and this doesn't seem like it will stop anytime soon. But yes, eventually over time this will recover, this will go back up, and this will take some time and start going up. Now, why do I feel personally that we're almost at a low? Okay, now, if I go back to the Nifty 50 chart and I draw the resistance, which is 22,800, which is our core resistance right now, right? So what can happen? If we break this resistance, we are going 1,000 points down, straightforward, okay? There is no support in between. if we break this resistance, or if we ever break 22,800, which is very hard to break, but if this breaks, we are definitely going down to 22,800. So 1,000 points ka max drop down will be there, right? But I feel that we are very close to a very significant move, because if I show you, if you just draw simple trend lines, okay, and I show you, go back to the weekly chart, you'll see it more clearly on the weekly chart, right? If you look at the weekly chart and you see the correction here, you will see, what does this say? Within the next 1 2 3 4 weeks, within the next 4 weeks, you will see a market movement, right? Whether it's up, whether it's down, we don't know. Either it can go down to 21,800, or it will start shooting back up. The minute it starts going above this trend line and it breaks this resistance, because every time it tried going up, it came back down. The minute we see a breakout from this line, it starts going up, and we need a very good breakout. For example, we need a very big green candle that starts pushing it up, and then it slowly, it might take time, but slowly it will hit back to its all-time high. Or we will see another red big candle doing a breakdown here, and then we will start going back down here, and then mostly we will slowly ping off from there, right? So that is why I feel right now we are at I would say almost at a what do you call that, almost at a bottom, right? This is logic number one. Now let's talk about logic number two. If you go to Nifty and you go to Nifty 50 and you see the Nifty 50 screener right now, right? You will see that Nifty is currently sitting at 20.4 PE ratio. Okay. Now, why is this so important? Because remember, we were always saying that Nifty was overvalued, it was too much, etc. And are markets forward looking or backward looking? What do you guys think? Right? Markets are always forward looking. So if the PE of today, of Nifty 50 PE of today, which is the top 50 companies, are at 20.4, then can I safely say that the forward P of Nifty would be somewhere around 18, 19, at least around 18, 19, right? The way I see it from an undervalued to overvalued perspective. So if you look at Nifty 50 right now, and if I look at the P ratio and I do a max chart, like I'm just taking the history of P ratio of Nifty, you will see that currently Nifty is below its median P, right? Every time Nifty has gone down below 21 P, it is below the median. And number two, you will also see very clearly here that every time Nifty goes to around 20p, right? If I just go back and do 5-year timeline, you will see this. Every time it has come to 20p, one time here, one time here, one time here, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every time it has come down to around 20p-ish, we have seen massive buying that has started to come back again. Now, what is P? P is basically price to earnings. That means the earnings of the company has to continue. This will only work if the earnings are growing. Now, with the new income tax law that has changed, and with rate cuts already happening, and with RBI coming in and reducing the dollar, do you think that the earnings of the company will go up? Right? If I do dollar rupee today, you will see that we have gone from 87.6, we've suddenly dropped down to 86, because the RBI has stepped in, did that OMO, and took out a lot of liquidity and started getting the rupee back to a strong dominant position. So right now, as I can see, Nifty has come to a good zone where we should start expecting Nifty to start going up. That's why I said I don't feel the bottom is very far away, because we have come to a very good zone of Nifty being slightly undervalued. And if you look at it from a different angle, if you want, okay, see this, I can show you another angle as well, right? Let me show you the Nifty P chart of history. This is Nifty P chart since 2021. Okay, free resource of all this. Okay, Nifty 50 chart since 2021, absolutely beautiful. Okay, now if you see this, you will see that during 2008, right, when the whole crash happened, we were sitting at 22, 25, and then from 25, 22, and then we suddenly went from there to the end of the year at 12p, right? Nifty was at 12p, and then it immediately bounced back from 12p to 23, and then we've always been around the 20-ish mark, and it goes to 16, comes back. Again, during COVID, we saw the massive bull run, so we hit 40, and then from 40, we came back down. Now we're sitting at 20, which is in the green zone. So that's why I said we might max. Some bad news comes, Trump again gets up on Monday and says some stupidity on the news. He'll say something bad about India and tariffs about India and all of that. Chalo, it might go down a little bit, but I don't think it'll go down too much, because even if it goes down, I'm saying max, it'll go down here, and that becomes a huge buying opportunity. Now, at this point of time, if you are a long-term investor, you will, I would say, this is, if you're a long-term investor, this is your golden opportunity, because right now the risk reward ratio is very favorable for people who are long-term investors. Very, very, very favorable for people who are long-term investors, because every time this has happened, right, we have seen a 13% dip, we have gone here, seen a 10% dip. Immediately after that, the next rally is very sharp, right? Here again, we saw 18% dip. We saw a immediate pullback rally, as they call it, right? So immediate pullback rally to recover all the gains. Anytime you see a dip in the market like this deep, you will definitely see a pullback rally coming in very, very, very quickly, and it will be so fast that you won't be able to capture the pullback rally, and everything will start going back up again, right? So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys, that this is a golden opportunity. And after maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you will never get Nifty back at 22,000. For example, we have not seen Nifty back at the last correction, right? Which is what? Which is at 16,000. I don't think Nifty can ever go back to 16,000, because if Nifty goes back to 16,000, then your P ratio of Nifty has to be significantly undervalued, because companies have done well over this period of time, right? Companies have made more and more money. That is why we're sitting at 20 P today. Yes, this was maybe overvalued, but now we're at a very good zone. So for long-term investors, this is the best time to buy fundamentally good companies. Are we on the same page here? Have you all understood? Yes, on the same page. And if you are not you're not a buyer today, let's say you're scared and you're sitting and you are not a buyer today, then you will definitely feel a regret later on, because I have started buying companies right now, because the next pullback rally, you only make money when the market is down. You don't make money too much when the market is up, right? Real winners are made in the bear market, right? It's very simple. I think Warren Buffett had said this once, right? If I'm going to buy a piece of land, I want that land to be as cheap as possible, not expensive. So right now, if I want to go buy a stock, I want it to be as cheap as possible. And right now, those stocks are coming down to a cheap zone. So that is why I want to go buy it, because tomorrow, then it can start going up once I've finished buying it. So it's the same concept. So you want the rate to be low, and today the rate is low. We might not get this in the future, right? So that is what the main thing is. And why are we seeing this drop? To be honest, if you really ask me, retail investors are not selling. The real drop is only because of FIIs, and we know this. It is not some new rocket science news. This is the DII FII data of monthly. December they sold, Jan they sold, Feb they've sold almost 40,000. Even now, Feb is not over and they sold 40,000 crores, right? Can you, if I was a FII, I would understand this as well. Why would I understand this? Because Nifty was sitting at 25, 30, 25, 27 P ratio. Nifty was overvalued. My dollar was falling down. Dollar rupee depreciation was happening. So if I am invested in India, then I'm automatically losing money, because by the time I remove the money and take it back to dollars, I'm losing a lot of money because rupee was falling down. And the consumption story was slow, right? These three were the biggest factors why FII started exiting. Right now, the consumption factor has been fixed, rupee injection has happened, and that has been fixed. Now finally, what is left? Nifty was overvalued. Now Nifty has also become undervalued. So don't you think now is a good time for the FIIs to either stop selling or slowly start coming back? Right now they are definitely in China. Why are they in China? Because they're very happy. China's IT companies have recently started seeing a bull run. Have you guys noticed this? If you look at Alibaba and all the other companies that are there in China, they have recently started seeing a bull run, right? So that is basically how it is. Now, another thing I want to tell you, have you guys heard of something known as market breadth? Have you guys heard of something known as market breadth? Huh? All of you guys? Okay. Let me show you something. Okay. If you look at the long-term market breadth of India, you will see that most of the stocks today are down, and not just most stocks. Even if you look at the stocks that are below 20-day moving average, 50-day, and below 50-day moving average, 20-day moving average, and even below 200-day moving average, today we have 1,653 companies below 200-day moving average, and only 300 companies above 200-day moving average. Can you believe this? Right? 1,600 companies below 200-day moving average, which is insane. Which is insane, right? I am obviously eventually we will see a uptick. We will see a thing coming back up. We will start seeing everything to be very wonderful and beautiful. So all of these things will eventually happen, right? All of these things will eventually happen. But the key here is not to panic, not to take stress, and start figuring out what are some good companies that have fallen. Now, for me, if you ask me, and if I look at Nifty right now, and even if I look at all my large cap companies, right? First, let me show you my stars companies, the companies that I've invested in, right? So we see Innova, CapTap has gone down. I mean, almost everything has gone down. So it's not a big shock for anything to be up right now, because everything has fallen. So Zaggle fell a lot. And this was something which was very surprising, because Zaggle's result was very good, right? The company's result was very good. They've recently done more acquisitions. Yes, their growth was not as fast as it was, but fundamentally the company was growing. And what happened? The valuation was high. So the valuation got basically took a nice beating from the market and said, oh, you can't sit at high valuations today. It is just not possible. And that is why Zaggle, as you see, which was sitting at around 90p in the past, has now come down to around 62p. But was the company good? Answer is yes. Has the company made good revenue growth? Answer is yes. It in fact gave a 10% Q1Q growth rate as well, right? So I have no problem, right? Because I'm here for a longer period of time. And as long as the companies are growing, I'm very happy. I have no stress in life. So all of the other companies as well, even Anantraj, I don't know how many of you remember, Anantraj took a massive beating. And that is why if you see, Stars has actually come down by almost 30%. But it's fine because the index itself is sitting at minus 20%. I'm sitting at minus 30%. And I know for a fact all these companies are very good, because if I look at Anantraj, I know that the residential projects that are coming out in Gurgaon, I think 4 projects are launching in 2025 March. And I know when the pre-sale booking starts coming out, this company will go up. Same with Kaplan, same with Prudent, same with 361. I literally know what fundamental triggers are playing out when, so I'm very confident, right? And you can start, investing as much as you like, right? So that is basically how it is. So for people who, I mean, for me who's investing, I am sitting at minus what? I am sitting at minus 29% over here, and I am not stressing and I'm not worried, because I know this is just a part of the market. It is correcting, it is going to go up again, and we are going to be back in a good zone. This is not something that is going to go down forever and ever. So this is something that is going down. So I'm very happy, and I'm buying companies right now, left, right, center. I'm buying actually some pharma companies, and I'm just buying tuck 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 tuck, because I know the minute the next rally starts, I want to make a huge killing on that next rally. Minimum 20-30% growth will just come from a pullback rally, and then everything will start looking really good. Now, to understand a little bit more, let's see what are some companies that have actually fallen down quite drastically. Now, if you go to Trendline, which is a free website, you can go to this and check out something called top losers that are trading in whichever index you want. So I'm going to choose first, let's see Nifty 50 top losers. Okay. Now, this is a very good example. I'll tell you why. If you really want to find winners today, okay, okay, listen to this. If you really want to find winners today, and if you want to find what is that, something that will really pull back fast, then don't you agree that if you look at two good parameters, what is the two good parameters? Fall from high, number one, fall from high, and recent quarter result was good. Don't you feel that the pullback will be much faster and stronger? What do you guys think? If the fall from high is 20-25% and the latest quarter result was good, then don't you feel that the portfolio has and the stock has fallen mainly because of fundamental reasons, or has it fallen because of sentimental reasons? Because if it has fallen because of sentimental reasons, then the pullback will be faster. If it has fallen because of fundamental reason, then the pullback will not be faster. I can give you an example. If you look at Apar Industries, it fell because of a fundamental issue. They had a 2% margin hit on their EBITDA because of raw materials procured from China. And they said it might take a quarter or maybe a quarter and more for this to recover, and government capex has not come in yet. There is a fundamental issue. But if you look at a company like Varun Beverages, right? Varun Beverages gave a stellar quarter, super quarter, but the stock price fell because the whole market was falling. So when the turnaround happens, whenever it happens, whether 1 week, 2 weeks, as I said, till March 15th or 17th, we will see a clear indication of the market. Within the next 4 weeks, we will see a movement happening. And in that movement, these companies will start doing well. So how do I find good gems here? First thing, we should just go top losers of Nifty 50. We'll do Nifty 50 first. I look at 1 month graph, not what 1 day, not 1 week. We can do 1 month, we can do 3 months. Ideally, 1 month is good, because automatically I will see in the last 1 month who has fallen the most. I will do a filter like this. Obviously, you can see Trent has taken a massive beating. Why did Trent take a massive, even though the result is great, right? No problem with the result. Do you know why Trent took a massive beating? Do you know that why? Because it was slightly overvalued in its approach, right? Obviously, because it was trading at a premium, it is still sitting at 122p. It was sitting at almost 180, 190p, right? And it was still sitting at 122p, right? Now, if you look at it, it has been falling constantly, even though 1 month is only 19. If I go and do 3 months, Trend will still be sitting on top. But the quarter result was phenomenal. The quarter on quarter result was damn good. And if you actually read the con call of Trend, right, it is not bad at all. Because if you read the Trend con calls, they have very clearly said that the new emerging industries are coming up. They've got into fashion, they've got into beauty. It is not just about Zudio anymore. So a lot of other things are also coming in, right? So Trend has definitely fallen. Tata Motors has fallen a lot. How many of you have seen that video that I put out on Tata Motors? Wonderful video. How many of you all saw that video? Recently I put a video on Tata Motors. Did you guys see it? Right, it basically spoke about, so a lot of people look at Tata Motors and say that Shashank, Tata Motors is sitting at such an undervalued position. Look at this, Tata Motors is sitting at 7.87p, and a lot of people think that Shashank, because Tata Motors is sitting at 7.87p, it is a blind buy. But the answer is not so simple, because do you think that you are the only one who's seen a company like Tata Motors sitting at 7.87p and you think it's a blind buy? Do you think you're the only one in the market who's seen this and nobody else has seen this? The big FIIs, DIIs have not seen this. It is not that straightforward and simple, because they're having problems with their Jaguar Land Rover business, and this PE can go down even lower because the earnings will start dropping even lower, right? That is why you see Mahindra and Mahindra doing phenomenally well, but Tata Motors is not doing well, not because of their India business, it's because of the Jaguar Land Rover business that is there. Because if you go down to Tata Motors over here, very simple, and just do product segments and profit and loss, you will see that most of the revenue is coming from Jaguar Land Rover over here, and very small vehicles are coming from commercial vehicles are here, right? Other passenger vehicles are here. Very small revenues coming from the other segment, whereas most of the revenue actually is coming straightforward. All data is right here in front of you, is coming from Jaguar Land Rover. So if you look at the Tata Motors over here, when I come back here, you will see that Tata Motors is here. So I will not invest in these companies today, even though I know the pullback for these companies will be good. I feel there is a valuation issue with Trent, fundamental issue with Tata Motors. So we need to go and start finding little bit better companies, right? What have fallen in the last 2-3 months and have taken a massive beating, and we can expand the universe and try to understand a little bit more on it as well, right? So if I expand the universe, let's go to Nifty 500. Let's do 3 months if you want, right? You will see some very interesting names. NetWeb, very good company, good growth. Sterling and Wilson, very good company by Reliance, but is just falling, taking a beating. I feel long term this company is very good, but it is taking a massive beating today. But long term, this company will be one of the best companies, to look forward for, because Reliance is betting huge on this. Kirloskar Oil Engines, again, Whirlpool of India. I don't know what Whirlpool of India is. JSW Energy has fallen 22%. If you look at JSW Energy, and if you look at the projects that are coming up in the next few years, fundamentally, if you do a little research on JSW Energy, you will see that JSW Energy is poised for very good growth happening in the next, by the end of 2025. 2026 is when most of their projects are coming into the system, right? So if you look at JSW Energy here, coming here, see how it has fallen. So these are some really good companies, because tomorrow they're not going to shut shop and go, right? It's a business. The business is not going to shut shop and go tomorrow. So some really good businesses are there. Natco Pharma, again, a lot of people had the same problem. Natco Pharma and Tata Motors are having similar problems. They look very good with respect to the P ratio, but they are not very good respect to the P ratio. And I keep saying this again and again, because Natco is also having a problem with their drug called Revlimid, which is also Dr. Reddy's problem as well. So they are also going through their own issues. They're having some problems, and they said they will figure these problems out by 2027. To time to hai, right? But they will recover over time, but they will take some time. Coming to Balaji, so here, see, Apar has also fallen. Voltas, I feel, is a very good bet, right? Again, guys, I'm not a SEBI registered advisor, so please don't take my what do you call that? What I'm doing today as a buy or sell recommendation. Please don't do that. Do your own research. My SEBI registration is in progress. आएगा, बस थोड़ा time रुको, सब आ जाएगा. But this is something that is very, very, very interesting for you to look at, right? This is how I find companies. So I'm trying to explain to you and teach you how I find companies, how I look at companies, and this is just a beautiful list. If you go to Trendline and do this, right, you can just find so many companies here that are really good companies that have fallen down. Deepak Nitrite just did capex. Nitrite prices are back to normal, down 19%. Just on the pullback rally, you will make money. And this is 1 month change. 3 month change, you will see 28%. So we have a 28% uptick coming in if a pullback rally happens. And these are all fundamentally strong companies. Voltas is a fundamentally strong company, right? So this is just beautiful. Now, if you want to go slightly deeper, let's say, for example, I want to go into the mid cap index, right? Because mid cap and small cap has taken a massive beating. So let's look at BSE small cap. If you look at BSE small cap and we do the 3 month and filter it across, look at the companies here. Okay, don't go for the bigger ones. We are trying to find companies that have had a good quarter, right? Good quarter we need, and we need companies that have fallen down after having a good quarter, right? So none of this has a good quarter, so it's taken a massive beating, as you can see. No good quarter here, no good quarters here. Okay, quarters here. HFCL is a very shocking company that I'm seeing here. HFCL should not have been here, because HFCL is a good company for the future as well. So not sure why HFCL is here, right? But if you look at all the other companies, they have fallen quite a bit. I think HFCL is a very interesting company that has been there for a very I mean, shouldn't have fallen, in my opinion. If I look at mid cap, let's check the mid cap index. NSE mid cap. Okay. Yeah, first things first is Voltas, which shouldn't have fallen. Pi Industries is here. Tube Industries. Tube Industries, I guess, was slightly overvalued. But Pi Industries is here. Very good company, long-term fundamental growth rate. And if you look at the recent con call and if you listen to what they're doing, it is going to do a turnaround very, very, very fast right now. Oracle Financial Services is down 23%. My God. Okay. Tata Tech is going through a bad time. Astral will do a quick recovery as well. Astral has a very good recovery curve. Prestige has fallen down, high P sitting, but not, we don't look at P there, we look at the sales, but that has also fallen down. Very good companies these are. HDFC Asset Management has fallen 12%. These are such beautiful gems that are just sitting right in front of our faces, and they're looking so bad, right? And even if you go back to TradingView and check my screener that I had made in the past, I'd literally made a screener called Shashank Correction Gems, right? Let's check what has come here. Let's filter according to market cap, and let's look at price little lower. Okay, let's go 20% down. I want to see what has come 20% down. EPS growth is also there. Okay, let's see here now. Let's see, not many companies. Okay, yeah, Varun Beverages definitely is one company that I feel just gave a very good quarter, but it has fallen. So this will very quickly do a quick turnaround. UTI Asset Management has also fallen on. Again, very good company. All the AMC companies have taken a massive beating, and all of this AMC companies will turn around very quickly, mainly because the AMC companies will start doing well very, very, very soon. Right? Let me do this. Let me see. ICICI Bank. Oh, ICICI Bank has also taken a beating, as far as I remember, but not too much. ICICI Bank is okay. It's in fact recovered as well. SBI has also fallen down. Now, this is a shocker even for me, because if you honestly ask me, SBI should not be falling so much, because if you look at what is going to happen with rate cuts, if you look at what is going to happen with the interest rate growing, every single thing is going to point towards SBI, and SBI is going to be the biggest beneficiary of this entire game, right? So that is what is going on right now. What else? Let me just check any other good companies. Then we'll quickly go into Q&A also. I'll do like a little bit of Q&A today. Axis is pretty much there. All the banks are here. Banks have taken a massive beating, and PSU banks will do really well because every time the market goes into a nice rally, PSU banks ideally start doing well. KPIT is sitting at a very close to its support zone. Just see this pullback rally that it will do. This pullback rally itself is a 44% pullback rally. It's crazy. This will happen. It will eventually happen. You will see it happening, right? But there are so many companies that are sitting here that are doing really, really well. So as I said, there are a lot of ways to find out what companies have fallen down. The quickest way for you to do this is to find who gave a recent result which was very good, and then you find out who has fallen the most as well. Even if it's fallen 7-8%, it is completely fine. I don't care even if it's 7-8%, right? Because even if it's 7-8% for me, how do I care? It's good for me. So if I go to Nifty 50 and check 1 month graph, right, from lowest to highest, even if some companies like Titan has fallen around 3%, State Bank of India 10% in 2 months, BPCL 15%, right, ITC 12%, NTPC 20. This Adani only, I don't do Adani, but other companies are fallen down quite a bit, right? Trent I feel will fall a little bit more. I don't think Trent is over. I think that will fall a little bit more, but other companies are there. So if you look at PSUs really well, if you look at consumption stories, if you look at AMC, if you look at travel and tourism, these are the companies that will continue to do well, right? And that is why we see all the other companies are also doing really well on this front. Got it? Understood? Now, coming to the main part. What am I doing with my portfolio? Cool. That is the main important thing. So I don't know how many of you all know this, but on Jan 2nd, I invested almost 50 lakhs live as a part of the live experiment that I wanted to do with the community as an experiment to learn and understand a little bit more about investing, a little bit more about ourselves, and understand how the investing process will work. And that is basically what we did on Jan 2nd, right? Now, obviously, the market is not looking good, and we never found, I mean, I could have never predicted that the market would fall so much. Nobody could have predicted. You would have never, I didn't predict. Nobody in the world predicted that the market would fall so much. And it's not my job to predict, right? Is it my job to predict when the market is going up and going down? No, my job is to react. So when I see the fall that has happened in this portfolio, which is minus 29% plus minus 2% we reduced in KFinTech, so minus 29%, and I'm making a beautiful log here. This is for me to learn every single event that is happening via Jan, via Feb. I am logging it down, I am writing it down so that I learn from this, right? So that I don't make the same mistakes again in the future. It's like my own diary, it's like my own journal that is going on over here. So as you can see, Valentine's Day, SC down, small cap index was down 4%. PF hit a new low of 31. What happened on Feb 4? Today is the first day we saw some FI becoming net buyers. 400 crores of net buying happened, and then boom, IT rated 361 office. Everything started falling down. Rate cut happened. So I'm making a beautiful story over here. But obviously, the stocks have fallen down quite drastically, as you can see here. So what I'm doing now, the next natural progression, because this is a natural way of how I am looking at my portfolio and how I would react if this was my real portfolio. And it is my real portfolio because I have invested and I have lost 29% of this portfolio. So what I would do at this point now, because it was minus 30%, right? Because it's already at minus 30%, I have to start averaging right now, right? There is no other point for me but to start averaging. If I don't average at minus 30, I'm an idiot, right? When else will I average? Yes, the market can go down more, the market can go up more. It's not my lookout to see if the market will go up or go down, but the time to average is right now. There's no other option. And what I'm going to do is, and this is something that I've already spoken about in the community, because all the updates of this Excel sheet I've been giving uh, every single time in the members only section, right? As you can see here, I have written this stars update. What am I going to do? What am I going to do on Monday? So I've even given the plan of how I'm going to execute this. And whenever I execute this plan, I will also reveal it back to my audience, right? And I will tell the membership guys that this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm planning to do it, and etc etc etc. That is basically how it works, right? So if you want to become a part of the member, I will put the link here on the side. You can see it because this is exactly what I'm planning to do on maybe Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure exactly when, but Monday or Tuesday I will be rebalancing the portfolio. Now what do I mean by rebalancing? Not rebalancing, averaging the portfolio. Now what do I mean by averaging the portfolio? Because it has fallen so much and it has fallen quite a bit, I feel that this is the best time to do a small average. It might not be a big average. As I said, I'm only going to average maybe around 10%, right? So sadly I've invested so much. Okay, I took 50 lakhs as my starting point, which I shouldn't have taken now, but TK, I can't cry about what has happened in the past. Now because I have taken that and I've invested, I'm going to do an average of 5 lakhs. Now if you look at the problem, right, in the portfolio, it has gone down by almost minus 30. So if I average it by 5%, it is, if I average it by 10%, it is not going to have a big difference. Have you understood that? Averaging it by 10% might not create a massive big difference because it is only 10%, right? So if I show you this and I come back here, if I average this by 10%, and out of the 50 investment that I've done, if I add another 5, right, it is not going to do a huge difference. But it is a small thing because this is exactly how I would do in real time today. Now, will I average it across all the companies that I have? Will I average it across all the companies? Answer is no. I will only be averaging selective companies that I feel will do a very good pullback rally, right? That is number one. Now, for the sake of the experiment, right, because in the start we had also said that we will try an experiment without averaging and with averaging, right? So I'm going to create another tab over here, which I will update on Monday. So this will always be my non-average tab, right? This is assuming I did not average at all. As you can see, this is going to be a non-average tab. I'm going to make another tab on Monday, which is called the average tab. And at the end of the year, we will check what has happened with both portfolios, right? We will check what has happened with both experiment, one with the average, one without the average. And at the end of the year, we will see how we had taken care of our portfolio. Now, I am very confident that there's a very high chance that this portfolio won't even be positive by the end of 1 year, right? I've completely made up my mind, ki boss, at the end of 1 year, this can be maybe minus 10, minus 15, or minus 7 or 8. That's how I look at it, because pullback rally mein 10-20% will cover up. So I think minus 10% I'll definitely be by the end of the year. If I'm positive, great. Beating index seems like a very difficult job right now. But let's see, minus 10% or minus 5%, I'm okay, because I'm not going to sell it in 1 year. As I said, this is real money, right? So I'm not going to sell it in 1 year. I have no plans to sell it anytime soon. So if at the end of 1 year I still have a loss, no problem. I will continue it for another year and until I make profit, and then I will start averaging out all the winners, right? So that is basically what I'm going to do. That is the plan of action. So either on Monday, Tuesday, I will be doing the averaging and I will be updating on the members only section. So for all the people who want that update, can join the members only section and check it across. Okay. Coming to the last part, which you guys wanted, how do you do how do you use AI, right? So basically, very simple. I think this has already been done on YouTube by a couple of other people, but I used one or two tools, right? So let me show you. Let me just take any random company as an example. I don't want to take companies that I own, so let me just take some random companies. Okay. Let me take Bajaj Housing. I don't hold any shares of Bajaj Housing. Let me take Bajaj Housing. I go down. Okay. I see the transcript here. Okay. Now, once I see the transcript here, I download this transcript. Okay, now once I download the transcript, now transcript is what? It has the entire conversation between everything, right? Whole conversation, 19-page conversation between the management and people about all their business. Then what I do is I use Notebook LM, or you can use GPT also. If you want to do a paid version of GPT, you can. If you want a free version, you can use Notebook LM, but both are completely normal. And here what you can do is, as you can see, I've already done it in the past, multiple times I've done it. You can go here, create this, add the source. Okay, let me upload the source. 1 second. Go here, add this source. And once you add this source, you can ask this any questions you want. For example, give me a brief summary of this document. Also tell me what are the positives and negatives, the loan book growth, any bad debts or GNPA and NNPA, and also give me future outlook. Right, so what it does, it'll automatically go through this entire document, 19-page document. You can even put a massive document as well, and it'll give you in very simple terms. If I remove all of this, it'll give you the entire summary here. See, this saved literally 40 minutes of my time, or else I had to sit and read 19 pages. This has automatically told me every single thing that I want to know. Not just this, what I've also done in the past, if you go here, for PG Electroplast, I had put the earnings call MP3, right? Because I've sat on the earnings call, I downloaded the MP3 and I put the MP3 here to get data, right? So even it looks at MP3 also, not just the PDF. And this is something I had done. And again, I had taken all the details from here, whatever I wanted, and I learned as much as I could from that company. So I know for a fact, okay, PGL is good and nothing bad is going to happen to this company. So I can continue my research and analysis and take it forward. So that is basically how it is. Got it? Now, let us take quickly from the audience, from all of you guys over here. Let's quickly take 5 questions, or not 5 questions. Let's take 3 questions from the audience before we close shop, right? But guys, this is, I keep telling this to you guys, this is a wonderful opportunity. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Aisa opportunity वापस नहीं मिलेगा. Again, I'm saying this is just the best time for you guys to invest. You will not see these things again in your time, right? So please keep this going on and on and on. All your stocks will be down 20, 30, 40%. My stocks are down 20, 30, 40%. I am not worried. Why are you guys sitting and worried, right? The fundamentals have not gone down. Please understand, you're not investing in stocks. You're investing in businesses. The business has not gone down 40%. The stock has gone down 40%. And it's in the nature of the stock price to go up and to go down. But we have to focus on the business that should only go up. If the business goes up, the stock price will follow it. So don't worry about it. Okay. What else? When am I getting SEBI registration? I have applied to SEBI. I'm waiting for SEBI to give me my license. Actually, I can show it to you guys. I'm also waiting for that only. If you go here, okay, research analyst, enlistment, application status. I think I'm on page number 8 as of now. A lot of people are pending. I was on page number 8. Kidhar hai? No, I'm not on page number 8. Did I go up to 7? Oh my God, did I go down to 9? Why did I just disappear? Very interesting. 1 second. Just 2 days back, I was checking this and I was on page number 8 from what I believe. Tell me if you guys can see my name. I myself can't see my name. Here. Thank God. Page number 7. Yes, I have upgraded one level. On page number 7, my God, I couldn't see my own name. So it's here. It's under process at BSc, applied on 20th 1 2025. So let's hope, let's see, the sooner this gets done, the sooner we can start doing a lot of things, and a lot of things also gets unlocked. So I'm also waiting for this, right? A lot of new things I can start. So that is all in the pipeline. A lot of plans I have. Beautiful plans are there. Chalo, let's take a few questions from the audience. Now, by the way, there's another very good document. Try to find this document if you can on Google. It's called Nuama Post Conference Note Day 2. Now, this has all of these companies, okay, look at all these companies. It has they have met the management of these companies, and they have actually given out a beautiful analysis of all these companies. Somebody was asking for CDSL, right? So if I just show you CDSL, and I keep saying CDSL, you should, right now it's not a good investment. I'll tell you why. Okay, so if you look at CDSL, they have recently met the management. They have given the key takeaways. They've given their price, target price in the next 12 months. What is the growth? What is happening with respect to Nifty? Everything is given here. And right now they're having a growth deceleration. Why? Because if you look at the growth right now, CDSL was at its highest. So many people had made new bank accounts, made new demat accounts, and CDSL was at its highest when they made new demat accounts. Now it is falling down, falling down, falling down, because the demat accounts will slow down. But in people are still, and it is very high P ratio right now. I personally feel that CDSL is little overvalued, and taking a bet right now in CDSL is little unwarranted. For maybe when it falls down a little bit more, you can take some bet on that, right? So yes, beautiful document. Try to find it. It's just wonderful, because I already know from this what are some good companies to buy and not buy, right? So this is all done by this. Everything is here. K Fintech, KPIT, AMC companies, 361. Oh, it's just a huge load of information. Okay, chalo, let's see some questions. Give me some questions, guys. Hope some RA desk offers to existing customers. Interesting. There are some plans. I haven't revealed them yet. I will reveal them later. Uh, Good question. Somebody's asking a question. Wait. Have you pledged your shares? Yes. As you can see here, there are some shares that are pledged, right? See this 387, 455. So I know a lot of people think that pledging is wrong or pledging is bad. It's just to get margin. I just pledge to get margin. That's it. I just have margin, and I use that margin whenever I want, right? To buy companies and sell companies. Basically, I've taken some bets. So I'm just doing some swing trades that I feel should do well, should not do well. So I'm just taking some trades like that. So that is why I have the margin, not because of anything else. Understood? So don't worry about that. Just to do some swing trades that I feel will do well, should do well, shall do well. Uske hisab se. Okay, what else? Any question, guys? Give me some nice questions. Don't ask about companies and stocks. Itna market gira hai. Talk about some interesting things in the market. Are you making money on options and futures right now? No, not in the last 2 3. Not since December, Jan. I've had a bad month. I'll honestly say that. It's not obviously because everyone's had a bad month and the market's just going down. And I was positive on a few companies, but I think the market just pushed it down. But I will cover that up in the what do you call that, reversal when it starts. When I go long, I will cover it up. So that I'm not worried about. F&O I'm not worried about, because that is not something that I over leverage or I do something where I'll come on the road. And I know for a fact very easily I will get the money back as well very, very quickly. So that I'm not worried about. Equity is more difficult because that is more of a patience game, long-term game, etc., etc. That is more difficult from that perspective. What else? Do you think 26,300 will be taken out this year? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You're telling we'll go back to all-time high this year? I personally don't think so. I would be happy if it happens, honestly, but I don't think we will come back to that point this fast. It can happen, Sukesh, but for that we need the FIS to come back in full force, which I don't see that also happening, Sukesh. So that is the problem that I'm seeing right now. Yeah. What else? Let's take two more questions. Can you teach us FNO? No, man. I don't think FNO is a good thing to learn right now. What else? At what level can you see small cap making a bottom? Interesting. Let's check. So right now, small cap has this as a support, which is 14,979 is the next immediate support of small cap. If I remove this, it still has a small way to go down, but I feel this is a very strong support. So I think a little bit of punishment is left in small caps. I mean, I'm also tired of this punishment. It's just annoying, right? Another 2% more should go down. I think that is the low, and it'll be down by 23%. And even I'm heavily invested in small cap, as you can see. So keeps getting hit. I'm getting hit constantly, but it's okay, because I know for a fact this has happened once in the past, right? Where did it happen? It happened here, 34%. And how long did it take for this 34% to recover? I will show you that also, right? If I do a date range from this low of 34% back to the high where it was, which was here, it took 1 year to recover. it took exactly 1 year to come back to break even. Last time this happened, it took 1 year. That's why when you ask me, do you think we will break all-time high this year? I feel this year is difficult. Last time it took a year for us to pull back and come back, but then we saw the rally going on for a very good time. So I'm also assuming that this time we have another 12 months left. I think in the year end we should be back at zero. That's why I said I'm very positive, or I'm very mindful of the fact that this year I might not make my portfolio might not be green. It might end at red. And Nifty also might end at red. I'm not sure if Nifty will end green or red, but I know my portfolio would not be green. I don't expect it to be green. If it does go green, I'm very happy. But let's see. I really don't know how the market's going to behave. So what else? Your view on MTF facility? I think it's a very good thing. See, I'll tell you what, MTF is again another form of leverage, right? We had leverage, now we're getting MTF, which is also leverage only. It is just like margin traded funds, right? To be honest, if you really know how to use leverage, it is the most riskiest thing to do. But the guy who really knows how to use leverage will always win. I mean, will win more in the market because he knows how to utilize his funds properly. What is leverage? It's just good utilization of funds, right? If I have 100 rupees, I am playing with 500 rupees and making that kind of profit or that kind of loss. So the person who knows how to use his leverage properly will do well. The person who doesn't know how to do his leverage properly will go to the cleaners. Khatam, tata, bye bye for you. That's it. So that is what it is. So I don't think MTF, I don't know, I like it because I know how to use leverage. But for people who don't know how to use leverage, don't even go close to MTF. Okay, anyway, I keep giving all these updates on the community for you guys to check, so you guys can check it out. And I'm going to tell you what is going to happen, what I'm going to do next week also. So that's all going to come in the YouTube community itself. Uh, any advice for small cap, mid cap, sip, continue, or wait after this comment? Guys, first of all, if you ask me, I'm not a big fan of this comment. Okay, I really didn't appreciate this comment. I'll tell you why. Because ICICI Flexi Cap has the highest allocation in small cap only. So when S. Naren comes and says that you should not invest in mid cap and small cap, but ICICI itself is investing heavily into mid cap and small cap, it kind of doesn't make sense. And also, if you look at one more thing, I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you some facts in life. Let's see these facts. And this is something I put in the community as well. But let me show you some facts in life. Okay. If you go to the small cap index, okay, 1 second. Nifty is small cap 250. You'll see that the P ratio is 27.5. If you look at mid cap, Nifty mid cap, okay, if you look at Nifty mid cap, you will see the P ratio is 34. Is this big? Is this high or low? 34 is high, right? Definitely high, because a lot of people say that Nifty mid cap is high. But if you actually go into the Nifty mid cap, okay, let me show you. Nifty mid cap 150. Go here, open the fact sheet, and you will see here that most of the companies that are here, see this very carefully: Max Healthcare, BSC, Suzlon, IHCL, Persistent, Dixon, PB Fintech, Coforge, Lupin, and Federal Bank. Do you know that all of these companies, which basically take most of your mid cap index, are all extremely high PE companies? Do you know this? All of them. Max Healthcare is a high PE company. BSC is a high PE company. Suzlon was high. Indian Hotels is still high. Persistent is also high. Dixon is above 100. PB Fintech is, I think, if you look at PB Fintech, okay, look at this. PB Fintech is showing 348 P ratio. So the way I see it, you cannot tell that mid cap and small cap is overvalued when the actual mid cap small cap companies have taken a beating. And if you look at the index, because of index management that happened few years ago, you see that most of the top constituents by weightage, which has 2, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost 17% of the index is high PE companies. And I'm sure the ones below this also are high PE companies. So to answer your question, I am not a big fan of that. I feel this will go down and this should go down, and I feel everything should be. I think we are almost at a low, so I don't think you should stop SIPs. Never stop your SIPs. SIPs should always keep going on, no matter what. Just look at the fund that you're investing in, because the fund might do something hanky panky, but don't worry too much about your SIPs. Okay. One last. Okay, let's take some other question. Let's take one last question, guys. We have, guys, can you please click on the like button for all the people who have not liked? Can you please click on the like button? Arka, welcome, become a new member. Nice. You will see all the updates. You can go start reading the updates in the past, right? And click on the like button if you can. इतना 1 घंटे से कर रहा हूँ. Nobody's clicking on the like button. Quite sad. Okay. US China trade war. I don't think anything's gonna happen. Let's relax on that. Nuoma link. I will. Okay, I will put in the community. Tanmay also. I'll put in the community. Someone else asked that, right? I will put that in the community after this live. I'll put that link there. Yeah, Chirag. I will share it. I'll share the Nuoma link for you. I shared. Didn't I share one drive which has all the research? I will put it there in that drive. Okay. Hi Shashank, is this the first major down cycle you're witnessing since you started investing in the share market? No, Aman, this is not the first. I was there in the Russia-Ukraine war. Everything felt bad. I was there during COVID. I started since 2018, 2019. So I have seen at least three. That is why I'm so confident. I'm not bothered. I'm not stressed. I've seen this red before. I know this red will recover. क्या है time का game है ना? At the end of the day, it's a time game, right? I know my companies are good. Companies are not bad. It's a game of time. I have time. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. तो मैं हूँ इधर तो मैं रुकूंगा. I'll wait. That's it. Simple. Okay. What about your portfolio average plan? As I said, I will be doing it on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, depending on when the market is low. But next week, I will be doing it Viva Sayan and I will be updating it in the community. So don't worry about that. Yeah. How much percentage you have seen? My PF has never fallen this much. Well, not minus 31%, because last time I was doing more of F&O, less of PF value. Even my baby small case has also, my son's portfolio, not baby small case, my son's portfolio has also fallen down quite a bit. Poor guy, still 9 months, but his portfolio has also taken a nice beating. But I recently bought another 75,000 into that portfolio as well. So whenever my son's portfolio falls also, I keep buying in that portfolio. So just now I bought a small one. I can actually show it to you 1 second. Yeah, this is my son's portfolio, as you can see. Let me zoom in. It's down 12%. I just bought recently. I bought another 75,000. I averaged it. I think I'll average another 50,000 maybe in the end of the month when I get some salary, because sab paisa chala gaya abhi, sab invested hai. And if you look at it, only Indian hotels is still sitting at 8% positive. Everything else has gone down. And Geo Financial Services is my highest drawdown at 28%. And every other company, I am not even a bit worried about these companies. These are all such fundamentally strong, wonderful companies. So the more I buy, the more I'm safe, right? So I'm not worried about these companies at all. This is something that I bought for my child, and this is a very long-term small case. It's only been a year, almost a year. So this is something I'm going to stay invested for at least 10, 20, 30 years is the plan to stay invested. So let's see how long can I stay. Okay, guys, let's take one last question and then we will call it quits. Okay, we will call it quits and then we'll do it again. One good mid-cap mutual fund, Motilal Mutual Fund, has a high P. How many of you all saw that Motilal video? I made a nice video on Motilal Oswal. A lot of people think it was attacking Motilal Oswal, but the whole concept people misunderstood. The main concept was to look at the P ratio of your funds, right? Any mutual fund that you take, let's do mid cap over here. It is very important to look at the P ratio of your funds and not just blindly invest just because things are doing well or things are going up. Always look at the P ratio of your fund, expense ratio of your fund. Nobody seems to be doing that. Nobody seems to be understanding the P ratio of the fund, and that is where a lot of people have lost money. Or see, these are the things you need to all start looking at, right? So if you look at all the mid cap funds right now, let me check net assets. I always do a filter with net assets. I usually prefer Axis and HDFCs. Usually I usually prefer those guys. I think Axis was good as a fund house. Let me just check. See, let me do Axis mid cap, right? Okay, Axis mid cap, Axis mid cap direct. Value research is a good place to like quickly check your companies, quickly check the P ratio of the company. Yeah, this portfolio, yeah, sitting at 41. I would say this is also still high, sitting at 41 on a mid cap ratio. Motilal is at 60. I would say this is still high, quite high. Let's try HDFC. Yeah, let's do that. This looks much better. Obviously I've not done the other check of how good has it been, has it gone up or not, what does the returns look like. Let's look at a 10-year time frame. So I want to see if it's made money over time. 5-year time frame, it's made money over time. Over the 5-year time frame, it has beat the index and has made money over time. So not bad at all. And the P ratio seems little okay compared to other companies that have a very high P ratio. So the drawdown might not be quite deep as I see. Okay, Mitesh, I hope that answered your question. Awesome. Cool. Let me come back. Awesome, guys. So I don't know if you realized it, but I think this live went on for 1 hour. I thought I'll just do a 20-minute live, but yes, we have gone for 1 hour. So let's stop the live now. But I hope you guys understood the concept I was trying to teach you guys. Please understand, we are in a beautiful zone, good risk reward ratio. Become a buyer today. I'm buying companies left, right, center. I strongly suggest all of you guys start buying companies today. And for all the people who are a part of the community, I will keep you updated with more stuff, what is coming up next week. And look at this. This is the book I'm reading now. Somebody asked, no? Tanmay, you asked what book am I reading now? I'm reading this book. It's called Berkshire Hathaway Letters, 1965 to 2014. Look at the size of this book. I'm here. I've read so many letters. I am right now in year, I'll tell you, I'm in year 1982, very close to all the Great Depression and all of that. See this, crazy, right? This is a book that I'm reading right now, very expensive book, but this is one of the books that I'm reading. So beautiful. Just read, because that has the knowledge of Warren Buffett over time. So I'm seeing how he's changing his perspective over time. I'm seeing how he's thinking over time. 1960s say he's been talking. And now I'm at 1982. I will come to the dot-com bubble. I will come after the dot-com bubble to the 2008 crash. I want to see how his mindset is changing, because the end goal is to like manage money and become rich, right? So I'm trying to see how we can manage money more effectively. That is why when my portfolio is also down 30%, I am not too worried, because I just look at his principles, and he said very clearly, is the nature of the price to go up and down, right? We look at businesses, and if we have a good business, go all in. And that is exactly what I have adopted, and that is exactly what I'm doing as well. So I don't care about the nature of the price, whether it goes up and down. If I find a good business and I keep investing in the good business, 99% of the time I'll win, right? There are 10% or 5% of the time, or even 1% of the time I lose, and I'm completely okay with losing as well. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Chalo, that is it. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. For all the people who are watching this later, comment below any questions you have about the market. I feel we will start going up. And if you feel that you have some good companies that have fallen a lot and are fundamentally strong, put in the comment section below. That can help a lot of people who learn as well, right? This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Thank you, Jason. Good night. Bye bye.